Okay. Um, this is gonna be a demonstration for doing your code wheel practice using oil pastels. So I had to do a voiceover just because when I made this video, the fire alarm rang multiple times. So just kind of bear with me if I'm a little behind or my thought process might be a little bit differently than what I'm doing with the drawing. So I'm gonna get started with the video. All right. Okay, so yeah, to get started with your assignment for today, we're going to be using oil pastels. So this would be your tables, and right here I'm just getting some newspaper covering my desk up all the way. So just make sure you open up your newspaper cover for space. So the newspaper is going to, do two different things. It will cover up your desks. One of the things with the oil pastels, though, is since you do a lot of coloring, it'll get real messy. And then another thing, too, is you can use it to kind of clean up your pastels as you're working. So, yeah, so you guys going to get a worksheet to work on for today, and then oil pastels. And then we're just going to just practice today with using these colors and the oil pastels and, blending the different colors together. I don't remember exactly what I was talking about though, but it's pretty simple. You're just gonna match the colors with what's on there, and then some of the colors are gonna require a little bit of mixing. So just make sure you're mixing the colors properly and just following directions. Oh, and then as you're getting closer to the middle, you're gonna have to mix a little bit of the white. So you're gonna have some different tints of lighter versions of the color. So that's probably what's going to take the most time is shading those in between values as you work along. So, like I said before, though, you're going to use a newspaper to just clean up your pastels. So sometimes it may get a little bit messy. Depending on what colors you mix, some of the other classes may use some other colors. So, clean up first. And then when you're coloring the pastels, you typically go like left or right or like a diagonal. But with oil pastels, though, it's a little bit better if you kind of like color in like a circular motion. So usually the oil pastels will typically blend a lot better in that direction. But I mean, it really depends on like what you're drawing or coloring in. But in most cases scenarios, though, it's probably better to go in like this circular motion that I'm doing right here. So this one's pretty simple. I'm just coloring this all in white or yellow right here. So I'm just following the colors. And then I'm gonna move on like to the next color once I colored that all in. So yeah, take your time, color it in. This is probably the only practice we'll do with the oil pastels, and then we're gonna talk more about color schemes and how to blend like your colors together. So I'm gonna move on to like a yellow green. Now the oil pastels do provide like some of the in between colors like yellow green. I think one of them is like a red orange, but you have to treat the red orange as if it were an orange. But yeah, just try to experiment with just trying to mix the colors because sometimes the yellow green may not be like the yellow green you want. So I'm starting off with the green right here, and again I'm giving it like medium pressure. You don't want to put too much pressure on the oil pastels. Especially if you're trying to like blend in two different colors. If you know you want like a yellow or like a blue or red, purple, violet, you can add those colors as is, but especially if you want to blend though, you don't want to color it in too much. So I am leaving a few white spaces in between. That way I can kind of mix the two colors together. Right. I'm not going too heavy with my coloring it in. So, don't treat it as like if they were like regular crowns. It's more like, crowns that you can kind of blend together. So now I'm mixing it with the yellow. And the best order with going with the mixing of the colors is, you want to do the darker color first. And then you can go in with a lighter color. So, like the way I arrange like the color wheel, obviously yellow is your lightest tint. But if you were to go up higher to like blue purple and red purple, and I would say blue is like probably the darkest tint. Uh, you know, and then you can go with those colors again. So even though I'm going yellow second, I'm going back again with the green to fill it up. And you have to kind of go with this back and forth of the two colors to mix them together. Okay, so moving on to this green now. So simple, just color it on green. Yeah, just take your time, color it in. And again, this assignment isn't really too much about like it's gotta be perfect. It's just more like, oh, these are oil pastels. I'm getting a good feel for like how to color with them, how to blend, and this is just really just a practice assignment. So if you do mess up on it at the end of the world, just go with it. All right, I'm not gonna penalize you, but do try your best to do the proper colors. Okay, don't try to fly through this quickly because the first time I did this worksheet, I did make a video beforehand. I realized I colored it all in the wrong way, so I just ended up redoing the whole video again. So yeah, do take your time. Look at the colors, see what you need to blend in. Because you can also use this as a good reference too for when you're looking at color schemes and you need to blend colors. And I'm doing like the blue and the green. So kind of a little out of order. I probably should have put the blue first and the green, but as long as you don't press too hard with oil pastels, just kind of go at like a medium strength, and the other color should blend in nicely. So now we got blue green here, and a lot of times you'll have a lot of the little oil pastel pieces. So feel free to wipe it away, or another thing I like doing too is I will just kind of like pick up the piece of paper. I don't really do it in this video though, but if you like kind of just shake it a little bit on top of the newspaper, that's completely fine too. Just make sure you do it on top of the newspaper so like those shavings don't get on the table, they don't get on the floor. Um, if they get elsewhere, then it's like really messy, and yet we have to clean it up. So I'm coloring this blue now. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna start showing like the other tints. So same thing like you did before when you mixed in two colors. You're going to just mix in a little bit of the blue. Okay, I'm actually going a little bit lighter than like what I previously did. And now I'm going to mix in the white here. So, okay, so you look at my oil pastels, okay, real messy. If I get that yellow on there, which I don't think I do, yeah, I clean it up here. It's gonna turn into green, so real important. Make sure to double check your colors, especially with like the lighter oil pastels. So mixing in the white now. Again, it should make it into a lighter tone, so it should mix in really well. I always like mixing in a little bit of white with all the colors, just because it just gives it a more natural color feel to it. So. And it really just kind of blends in everything. So it doesn't look like it's a crayon now. It looks like almost looks like oil paints in a way. If you mix it enough. So go over again with the blue. This time I'm gonna do lighter. So you can do it one at a time like this. There's another part of the video where I just kind of color them all in. Either or is fine. Just I would do what's you feel is most comfortable. I realize this method that I did here though. All the values look so similar. So it's okay if you can't get it exactly like a lighter version of like the previous one. Again, this is just practice though, so sometimes that happens. And now I'm going over with the blue again. So you have to kind of go back and forth to, try to get the lighter tints or lighter values. Okay, so again, we're gonna spend about 2 days on this, so it's not like we have to rush to get this done. I'd rather y'all get comfortable with the oil pastels, and then we'll just probably jump into the project. Do some sketches, planning. Okay, so that's the whole section of like the blues, and you see how I'm going back and forth. So you definitely want to go back and forth to get like the proper values. It's really hard to get it all in one go. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of skip to the yellow green one. Looks like I'm trying to skip to yellow green. Oh, okay. I'm just doing all the green ones. So, oh, okay, yellow green. So I'm going very, very lightly with the green. So this one I have to mix in 3 colors. So some of these you will have to mix 3 colors. So obviously if you're mixing in 3 though, I would even go lighter than that. So I'm doing the green, the yellow, and then the white. So you have to kind of build up the colors though. So I'm doing one pass through right now of like the green, yellow, white. And I'll probably have to do like another one after to get the exact values that I want. And oil pastel is just like your regular pencils. You can always go darker, but you can't go lighter. It's really, really hard to go lighter. So just make sure to work lightly and then build it up. Yeah, unlike regular pencil though, we can't really erase the oil pastels, so just be really careful with that. So if you go really dark with your values, then it's like hard to go back. So this one ended up being a little bit darker than the other one, I realized. Yeah, I definitely pressed that a little too hard. Again, this is just practice though. So it's not too dark though, but I definitely have to darken the other value a little more. Yeah, so I'm going back with the green again, and then probably the yellow. Make that look a little bit more darker. I'll be honest with you though, the 3 colors is really hard to do. Like they're not really like transitioning the values too well, but it's just practice. So the green's gonna make it darker. Obviously, yellow's not gonna do much. Okay, now I'm going really light with this one here. I should go real lightly. Yeah. Yeah, this one didn't blend in that well, but we're just practicing. Just trying our best. Okay, so you're gonna do the entire color wheel. That's the assignment you'll be working on for today and the next class.